Hey guys, what's up? Today's video is going to be a declutter video. I take you through my entire makeup collection, show you what I'm getting rid of. I did do a eyeshadow palette declutter not too long ago, which I will go ahead and link here and down below, as well as I think like a lipstick declutter, but I still got rid of a crap ton of stuff. It felt so good. I feel much more inspired now that my space, well, back there still needs cleaning. That's like from homeschool stuff forever ago. And then just like all of Lane and school things that I need to go through now that we're on summer break. But yeah, I just wanted to film what I was getting rid of just because I feel like it puts a pep in my step while I'm doing it. And I just feel more motivated to get it done. So it feels nice. Like my foundation, my concealer drawer, everything is so clean now. My lip gloss drawer, I got rid of so many lip products. So yeah, grab a snack or just prop the phone up and maybe you can clean it right along with me. Personally, I always find that very motivating. Anytime I see anyone else declutter, I instantly want to get my button gear and do the same thing. I also have an empties video coming up very soon as well. I'm a little rusty, I apologize, but you can always come hang out with me over on IG stories. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the declutter. So this is a drawer that has been decluttered a million times. At one point it was super organized, but I feel like when there's just this many of one product, it just gets cluttered again. I have a lot of the Maybelline Superstay Matte inks back there, which I do like most of those, but I know there's several shades that I can declutter. I'm a huge fan of NARS glosses. A majority of the NARS products will probably be sticking around, but either way, there's a ton of products in here that can go. I just freaking love glosses. Lipsticks are so easy for me to part with, but lip glosses, I love these guys right here. As I mentioned earlier, I don't know how many of these NARS glosses will be biting the dust. A majority of these will be staying, but I know I can go through and get rid of some of the Power Matte pigments. As much as I like these, I know there's several different variations of red in here, and I don't need all of them. I have 3 reds, 4 nudes, and then 4 either like pink shades or mauve ones. These have separated, but if you quickly shake them up, they still smell totally fine. So I'm gonna go through and quickly swatch a few of these and see how many are worth keeping. We have Vain, Light My Fire, and then Don't Stop. I definitely wanna keep Light My Fire because I love these sort of like neon red shades, but out of these 2 here, this is more of like a burnt red, and then this is like a true blue-based red. Ugh, why do I want both of these? Okay, we're gonna keep looking at those for right now. We're gonna push those aside, and then maybe I'll do better with getting rid of something from the mattes. So after swatching these, I'm wanting to keep 6 and get rid of 5, but I keep looking at these nudes and I'm like, I don't need both of them. There is a difference though. One is more like of a mauve nude, and then the other one is more of like a true deeper, not deeper, but just like more of a true nude versus this one. But at the same time, I'm like, I could probably create that look with a lip liner. For now, I'm gonna keep it, and I have no problems getting rid of these 5 here. As I mentioned earlier, I thought NARS would be harder for me anyways, just because it is a formula that I really like. As you saw from earlier, this bin was like a tight squeeze full of lip glosses. I did still keep a lot, but I said I would with NARS and Persona, but here's everything that I'm getting rid of. Quite a few NARS products, and then 2 Persona glosses. There's nothing wrong with these. Pink is just a shade that I never really reach for. Can we focus, please? There we go. And then Holy Grail is really pretty, but since I kept 2 of the NARS shades in red, I figured I could let this one go. So here is a drawer after getting rid of quite a few products. There's still tons of glosses left, but I've mentioned this before. Lip gloss is definitely one of my favorite products, not only like for lips. I definitely prefer lip gloss over lipsticks, but just in general, it's just something that I gravitate towards all the time. So I have tons of NARS, some Revlon, Persona, and then this is just like a random hodgepodge of all different brands. And then back here, I have those, I keep wanting to say L'Oreal, Maybelline matte lip stays. I only ended up keeping 6 of them. I got rid of 4. Some of the It Cosmetics, these are like glossy balms. And then some products in here I did keep just for like nostalgic purposes. This Wet n Wild Twin Stars collection I never even used, but I remember collecting these characters when I lived in Okinawa. So it's just something I like to have and look at every now and then. Don't judge. And look, so much more space that I don't need to be filling. And then here's everything that's leaving. These are items that I know for sure are just expired and need to go in the trash. That's sad. I hate being wasteful. But then there's tons of good products in here as well. This is an amazing long wearing formula, but these are just shades that I never really reach for, so I want to pass on those. My mom loves the ColourPop Fresh Kiss line. I saved some of the glossy stains, but whenever it just comes to the lip lacquers and lip creams, I don't really use them as much. I actually love the Essence Intense, Extreme Shine, and Clear, but I don't really use the colors too often. So this is everything that's going. I did do an entire face of the like AOA makeup, and unfortunately I wasn't the biggest fan of these lip crayons. They weren't bad, but the smell and the texture I didn't love, so I'm just gonna get rid of those. I actually really like the Too Faced Pillow Balms, but just not this specific shade. As well as these NARS, I think lip creams, what are you called? The Air Matte Lip Colors. I love the shade Lose Control and Shag. Dolce Vita is really pretty, but I felt like the others were similar to where I could pass on this. If you are curious, some of my all-time favorites in here, the Dior Forever Skin Correct, the Hourglass Concealer, this Innisfree My Concealer. I have mine, I want to say it's shade 2 or Peach, that's my corrector. These three I use pretty much consistently. I've also really been enjoying the Pure Push-Up Concealer. I love the packaging of this. Like, originally I was sitting here twisting it, but you just push this button and it pops right up. I do like that one a lot. I loved the Milani Conceal and Perfect. Unfortunately, this is just like at the very end now to where it's just gotten thick and gross. So I need to repurchase a new one because I genuinely do love this concealer. A few disappointments. This guy for sure is being decluttered. This is where I suck at decluttering though, because sometimes I intentionally keep things to do like a products I regret buying type of video, but I just need to make a list for that. So this I just was not impressed with. It was thin and kind of drying. I love Maybelline Fit Me, so I had high hopes for this, but I just wasn't really a fan. And then the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. This isn't bad, it just, I think is highly overrated. I had such high hopes for this with all the hype that I saw on like Instagram Reels and TikTok. It just didn't, I don't know, I didn't think it was that special, but I really do like it as a foundation. I just have to mix it with something a little bit darker. Catrice True Skin. Love these. Everything else, they're like products that I've liked or like adored at one point. For instance, the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra. I do still really like this, but I just go through phases. But I know there's definitely products in here that I can declutter. I do have like these deeper concealers in here to use as cream contour. I need to move these to my contour drawer though. They were in here because they're actual concealers, but the Nude Sticks, what are you called? Nude Fix Cream Concealer. It's a very like light coverage concealer, so it's amazing for just bronzing and contouring. I use both shades 9 and 10. Okay, so here's a drawer after getting rid of products. So we have correctors. That Innisfree one I adore. I have a backup of it. I actually prefer it over the NARS concealer. I still need to go through and wipe down these bins too. Why I didn't do that while cleaning, I'm not sure. I just wanted to hurry up and get through it. Like, look, there's hair down there. Ugh. Okay, so some like squeeze tube concealers and then just my normal concealers. I rotate through these a lot, but I already showed you the ones that I use the most. And then I haven't even looked at these yet. This is sad. I used to like mixing these in with like body lotions. That's like separation and it being old, I'm sure, which is frustrating. This should have gone in with like my liquid cheek products and just like bronzers upstairs, like body bronzers, because I'm pretty sure these are old now. Clearly I'm behind on washing sponges. Gross. Okay, so here are all the concealers that I'm getting rid of. I already showed you that JCat one. The Nude Sticks Nude Fix Concealer I love as a liquid cream bronzer, but for concealer it just, unless you want something really lightweight and sheer, it just doesn't do its job as a concealer, so I'm getting rid of those. A lot of these, it was like things where the shades weren't right. For instance, these RCMA concealers, they were laying down, so they just need to be shaken up. These are just way too light. It was N10 and G10, passing on those. I gave this another try, the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Hydrating Concealer, I think, longwear concealer. It's just a no for me. The Pixi Brightening Peach, I loved this at one point, but now it's a little bit too dry for my under eyes. We already spoke about this Maybelline one. This Jouer Stick Concealer, I kept one shade, but then this shade just wasn't right for me. I swore I decluttered this before. This used to get so much hype. The e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, it just did not work for me. I actually found it to be a bit dry. The Laura Mercier Fusion Concealer, I love, but this is a shade that I received in PR. Why I didn't just set it aside immediately, not quite sure. I love the formula. This shade just doesn't work. And then both of these are from the K-Beauty brand McQueen. Fortunately, they're just way too light. It's kind of like a dual purpose product, foundation or concealer, but they're just too light, even when I'm at my fairest. I'm actually doing another campaign with Vera Bradley, and I'm hoping Shannon, the usual makeup artist, is gonna be there. I'm saving these for her because I just feel like she would get much more use out of them. It's like a brightening and concealing corrector pen from Laura Mercier. I have 2 of the NARS Creamy Concealers. These shades just aren't for me, as well as another of the Soft Matte Concealer. Urban Decay, what is this called? All Nighter, Stay, something like that. It was just way too yellow. And then this is a K-Beauty concealer from the brand, I think Betty Betta. Yeah, double longwear cover concealer. It was just way too light. So there were also 10 other concealers that I just had to throw away because they were old and it was time for them to go. Oh, what do you know? Another disheveled drawer. This is foundation. There's definitely some must-haves in here, but then there's also plenty that I know can find a new home. And this drawer just severely needs a cleaning. So far here are the foundations and skin tints that I will be keeping. I love pretty much everything in here. As you can see, Wet n Wild, Photo Focus, and Dewy is just a forever favorite. So those are keepers. But so far on the elimination list, the new It Cosmetics CC Plus Nude Glow. I kept one of the shades. I'm still working with it, but to be honest, I just prefer the original CC Plus or the CC Plus Illumination more. Also 2 of the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better foundation, as well as the NARS, I just talked about these, Natural Radiant. Yeah, I prefer this one, their newer launch, the Light Reflecting Foundation. This shade is too deep, so I kept 2 of my correct shades and then passing on the deeper shade and then getting rid of these. 2 of these Lancome foundations, the shades are just not right for me. One is a little bit too gray, the other is too yellow. This is a foundation I've heard so many people rave about. Unfortunately for me, it just did not work. The color was very misleading. Like in this frosted panel, like I could tell, yeah, it was a little bit warm, but it's extremely yellow on, and I just found it to be drying. It says hydrating. I didn't notice anything hydrating about it. Another slightly drier formula, the NARS Soft Matte. I liked this whenever I mix it with things, but I don't love it enough to keep it anymore. The Maybelline Dream Radiant Liquid. I haven't used this in forever. It looks gnarly. I need to clean it. This is a serum foundation from a K-Beauty brand called Jenny House. Unfortunately, just way too light. The Revlon Candid I did love at one point, but I don't know if the shade was off or what. I swatched this. I swore that's what I used to wear, but it looked very yellow. 2 tinted moisturizers. The Laura Mercier one I actually do like, but this one, the shade is not right. And then the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac. It's not bad, I just don't love it. This one is way too full coverage for me. And this one here is from the K-Beauty brand Apew. Oh, this one also expired 2021. So this will just be going in the trash and it's way too light. Here are the last couple foundations that I decluttered. I feel like these aren't even that old, but they're already separating like crazy. The J-Cat Skinsurance, I know this one's old. The Essence Pretty Natural. I kept 1 shade, I think, and got rid of this one. This Double Lasting from Etude House. I've heard it was supposed to be like a dupe of the Estee Lauder Double Wear. It was way too light, and this looks like it's separating and just needs to go in the trash. This I'm gonna go ahead and save for my mom. And then here is the foundation drawer after. I really wish this side could look a little neater, but it's the best that I got right now. And then one foundation that will be going into empties. I used up a ton of this. I would say it's probably about down to here, but it being a natural product, it turned. It smells like wet dog, so it's just time to go. Moving on to cushion foundations, I just recently finished up this Kill Cover in Clio, so I just put in a brand new one. And then I know this Pony Effect one expired, yeah, 2020, actually this month. I don't think I finished that one up all the way, but I did want to go ahead and put in a new one while we're sitting here so I can get rid of the other and then add this guy to my empties. I wish there was more packaging like this here in the States. It's just so nice to not have to throw away an entire compact and just refill it. So both of these are keeps. This Make Up Face, I don't know. I don't remember loving this one, and I think it's probably almost expired. This one in Moonshot, it's the Moonshot Micro Correct Fit Cushion, is one of my all-time faves. I just put in a new compact in there. I don't love this one as much as this, which is weird because this is supposed to be like the hydrating one, but something about it, I don't know if I got the wrong like cushion pack in it, but it looks more matte on my face. So this one's gonna go in the trash, I said, but this can just be passed on. I'll let my mom try that. I don't really remember about this one, and I haven't played with the Romand one enough. So for cushions, these are the only two that are leaving. I don't mind the Swatches silk powder on the sides of my nose where I have larger pores, but for my under eyes and the rest of my face, I just feel like I don't appreciate it enough. So this is something that I know I can get rid of immediately. This pure powder is nice, but it's like a full coverage powder. I just did this not too long ago, but these two I know I can get rid of for sure. Here is another random eyeshadow drawer. I have lots of singles in here. My absolute favorite eyeshadow crayons, Danna Myricks, and Makeup Forever, like cream shadows. I know those Makeup Forever ones, a lot of those are probably old, but I mean, I've still been using them with no issues. Singles, and then a lot of these ColourPop quads. I actually already decluttered these once or twice before. The problem with these is I'll find one shade in a quad that I love, so then I end up keeping the whole thing. But I don't want to depot them because there's plenty of people I know in my life who would like love, for instance, I kept this mainly just for this shade here, but I know I have a warm brown like this and plenty of other eyeshadow palettes, so I just need to really dwindle those down. Here's everything that's leaving that mini eyeshadow drawer. As I mentioned earlier, I've been keeping a lot of these for like one specific shade when I wasn't utilizing the rest of it. This NARS duo, I actually have this in a single already, and I haven't even really touched that duo. This is a K-Beauty brand. I kept one of the other shades, but I really don't need both. Got rid of some of the quads, a MAC single, an Urban Decay single, and then this little quad from, or it was a quint from House of Sillage. I don't use it. It's cute packaging, but I don't need it. As I mentioned earlier, I just prefer glosses and lip liners over lipsticks. This used to be completely full. I did a declutter before, but I'm realizing now I kept way too much, way more than what I needed. So this is a drawer that I really want to cut back on. My mom loves lipsticks. She doesn't really wear too many nudes, but I know I have other friends who wouldn't mind taking them. So let's see what we can do. So these are all lipsticks here, lipsticks, and then like random little liquid lipsticks. I got rid of most of my matte liquid lipsticks unless there were like specific shades that I really liked or formulas that I didn't mind, but this is still way too much. All right, so here's the after. I know, still a lot of lipsticks. I personally love lip crayons and then these Lancome lip stains. I've always loved these. I did keep a few of like the whipped matte sort of lip products I have from K-Beauty brands. I have 3CE, I have Romand, there's a Pixie one, a YSL one, and then a couple MAC and ColourPop ones right here that I really like. But I ended up getting rid of, I think close to like 70. Actually, it was more like 80 because there were several that I had to throw away that were just like past their due date, but still a lot of lip products here. So much better. So these are drawers where something does need to happen. I did do a massive eyeshadow palette declutter not too long ago, but this is the section where I realized I'm really just using the same palettes over and over again. And I don't want all of these to go bad. I would rather like my friends and my family get use out of them. So let's see what we can do in this section. I ended up filling this decent sized Amazon box full of stuff. It goes like way down to the bottom. Mainly lip products, some complexion things. And then I did do my eyeshadow palette drawer quickly. This is the Be Mine palette from Sydney Grace. I actually really do like it, but I decided to keep the dark version and then get rid of the light. A majority of the shades are similar, but a few of the ones in the dark palette are slightly deeper. So I kept that. A couple of ColourPop palettes. We have the Charm School. This is cute, but I have lots of colors like it already. The Or Kid You Not. I know I did an entire video on this. We have By the Rosé. Roaring Hearts. This one I did want to keep. I like it, but I feel like if I'm going to go in and use shades like this, I'll most likely go into my ABH Soft Glam palette. And then I know a lot of people love these Essence Mini palettes. I kept, I think, the bronze one, and maybe that was it. They're not bad, but especially like these three color families here, I would never really reach for those. The coral one was just okay to me. I find them to be a little bit dusty. I wanted to keep this because of Twin Stars. I just like sentimental reasons and nostalgia, but I don't need it. Then we have this one from Nomad Cosmetics. This is the Orient Express. Etude House Rose Balm. It's good, but I've used it plenty enough. And just a few other random palettes. So I didn't get rid of too many eyeshadow palettes. And I also did go through some random like skincare PR things that I know I can pass on. See, when you look at it dumped out, there is a ton of products in there. I feel so good about getting rid of all those lip products. So now I'm just gonna go through and like pull out products that I know my mom and specific friends would like, and then just leave a grab box for just other visitors who stop by. And then anything new, I have off to the side that I save for like giveaways and donations. All right, y'all, so there you have it. Thanks so much for sitting down to declutter with me. I know I could have done more with my eyeshadow palette, but I always get so nervous to get rid of too much because I always do like to go back and revisit certain old palettes. But if you are curious, the current palette that I've been in love with for the last like month now, however long it's been out, is from Urban Decay. It's one of their newer naked palettes. This one is in Half Baked. It's just the perfect, easy, everyday go-to palette for me. I've been loving all of the shades in here. There are two or three other variations as well, but Half Baked has definitely been my go-to. And yeah, that is pretty much it for today. As always, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. If you got some more time on your hands, you can always hang out for longer. Check out one of these videos here. And yeah, that's about it for today. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.